All right, so what's good, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Shout out to Edward Anderson for for making a suggestion. I was actually going to do a similar topic about Fargo season 4 when it gets done, because I think that needs to be talked about in this quote unquote space. So what this is about is the Blood of Zeus. It's a Netflix animated series, an anime. I don't like anime, so you gotta ride with me on this one. But for all the guys who have red pill content, or they have, and the ladies who have relationship material, Blood of Zeus is actually a great storyline. And if anybody who knows anything about Greek mythology, they know about the story of Zeus, right? So fast forward, there's gonna be a lot of spoiler alerts. I don't care. Zeus killed his father Kronos, and his father was a Titan, but his father basically ate his siblings because he didn't want them to come into power, and his mother whisked them away. I'm using whisked, you know. So he grew and took on his father, thus killing him, releasing his siblings, and this is how you have the quote unquote Greek gods, right? Because but to do that, they had to kill the rest of the Titans also. I feel you on that, Evron. It is dope. And for the relationship part, if you look at Greek mythology, Zeus is a notorious cheater when it comes to Hera, which is his wife. And I think people use that story of a powerful man stepping out on his woman as kind of like a predecessor to how powerful men get down. But I think it's wrong. I was going to use a better term, but it's dead wrong, because if you know anything about Greek mythology, Hera is actually Zeus's sister. So he's married. So brothers and sisters are married. You know, you know. Well, I mean, True be told, the Greek mythology is actually African mythology. The Greek gods that we call the Greek gods are actually the gods of the Nile, and the Nile ain't in Greece. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Perfect Storm? So that's actually an African story that got, co-opted. But the thing about it is, when people look at it from the outside, they forget, because they don't take into consideration that Hera is actually that man's sister. So who actually want to be smashing a sister? Especially if God's a quote unquote immortal, right? Or super long living. He gonna cheat on his sister. I'm sorry. I mean, it's not a good look, Yeah, I'm so faithful to my sis, but my sis so sexy. She getting thick. She's getting thick on this Mount Olympus. Like, it's not gonna go down like that. It's just not. But the premise of, when a woman's fed up, and if she gets cheated on enough and embarrassed enough, she's gonna lose it. She's gonna snap. She's gonna do something that's just like completely out of pocket, because she's tired of being made a fool of. So this is what this story is basically about, you know, in in the concept of the storyline. No different from Hercules, Perseus. Who am I, man? He got so many doggone kids, man. Like, he got a lot of kids, man. The half breed kid who's part human, part man, not a god but a demigod. So the children that are gods don't rock with him anyways. Jermaine, what's popping? But the guy doesn't know. Like, Heron, the son in this one doesn't know. So it starts basically. Appreciate that, Ralph. It starts with a situation where you see the backstory. Great writing, great storyline, great arc. Because everything that you think that's in the story that doesn't make sense, it all starts to make sense. Is that so? Zeus is the future of the god. Uh, eh, the funny thing about that is, I'm gonna step back and I'm gonna go forward. What's happening with you, Frank? Zeus took over from his father, who actually took over from his father. So when people think about that mythology, it's the lineage starts like 4 generations back or something like that. Newt or Nun, something like that. But anyway, so Zeus is actually, to me, is looking for a predecessor, like somebody to take over, because all of his kids don't have his power. You get what I'm saying? If you look at the story of the Iliad, Mount Olympus, all that, you notice that all of the people don't have his power. They have different powers, but he's the most powerful. So he can't. So to me, he's trying to create another Zeus to take over. But Hera don't rock with that because she getting cheated on. You know, you know. So it starts with a child, woman and a child. Zeus takes a liking to this married woman, and he's smashing a married woman. No different from the Bible, right? No different from the Bible. You know, yeah, sometimes it does, right? But I get you. So, well, not necessarily different from the Bible because I don't think Mary was married at the time, but you know what I'm saying? So has a Zeus impregnates a married woman who was already pregnant by her husband who was a king, right? So they had a "you are the father, you are not the father" moment, right? You know, right. Appreciate that, Jermaine. Yeah, but Kronos a Titan, he dead, and Koranos out there, he's super dead. You know, Titan, what's happening? I actually, this ain't the first time I reviewed something anime. This ain't, but this is a little bit more in depth. So you got a guy who got caught cheating on his woman, and his family tried to cover it up. And because he kept stepping out. So Zeus was kind of slick. That's with the eagle and taking on human forms. The reason why that would go on, basically, they're using for the show, is basically because when a god took on his form as a god, the other gods could see him. So it's like an immediate thing. If a god takes on their godly form, outside of Mount Olympus, other gods can immediately lock in on where they at. You know, you tried to cover. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So now you got your kids, your family. Like, listen, okay, I'm gonna look out for you, but your wife getting upset. Now the wife is so upset. There's supposed to be a gods are not supposed to interfere with mankind. They're not supposed to interfere, especially with certain entities, right? So Zeus is one of those people who not gonna interfere, but he gonna work in the bylaws and the loopholes. That's how he get down. Part of creating these demigod kids is so things don't go left, and he can tip the scales to the quote unquote gods. But his wife don't like that because the way to do that, he's got to sleep with other women. So the main two characters, hero and villain, wound up actually being twin brothers. So what you got is a situation where one brother is just trying to live his life and the other brother is trying to seize power. And they both don't know that they're brothers. Because the mother, once she became a cheater, she was thrown to the wolves, single mother. You know? Yeah, appreciate it, appreciate it, Jermaine. So you got two kids, that's why I said it's kind of a red pill thing, who were technically raised by single mothers, and society tossed them to the side because they were single mothers. The actual mother of the twins and another woman took over for the other kid because that child's uncle tried to kill him as a baby. So the kid with a hard life was raised by a woman who took over for his mother because that was actually the son of a king. They both were son of a king. So one was the son of a king, the villain son of a king, the hero son of Zeus, twin brothers. You know, what is that? Fraternal twin, paternal twin, something like that. Not identical, right? So Zeus is actually with his son all the time, and as a different man, being like a mentor. So the guy doesn't know that this is his father, and his mother knows, he don't know his whole life. The other child was basically raised in the streets. You know what I'm saying? His mother got killed, and Zeus, ironically, was looking out for him too, but he couldn't, but not necessarily in a human form. So Zeus was actually looking out for both of them because this is a situation that he created. The only difference is the one kid grew up in the suburbs, the other kid grew up in the hood. You get what I'm saying? America's Kimmy, what's popping? So now you got this situation where they have completely different agendas and mindsets. But his wife slash sister, because I got to bring that up again, because I don't want people to come in here and be like, but he was smashing other chicks on his wife. If you don't know Greek mythology enough to know this, Zeus is married to his sister. So I'm gonna just go, I'm gonna say that repeatedly in this joint. So you wouldn't want to be smashing your sibling either. So now we got this situation brewing. And we got like one of the old titans whose body just is somewhere, and somebody comes up. It's like somebody comes up. The body washes the shore. So basically, the brother that was raised in the hood takes, basically eats part of the body and absorbs that power and becomes something else. It's twisted, right? But see who knows this story this whole time is Hera, the wife. So she's getting tired of being played. Tired of being played. So she decides, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm resurrecting these titans. So since you want to be the king, the king of Mount Olympus, and you just want to be running these streets, being out having a hot Zeus summer, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm sick of this. I'm raising the dead, and they gonna tear this whole thing up. They gonna work for me now, because I'm sick of you as king. So she was sick of him at being a king and dipping out on him, but she couldn't beat him. She knew she couldn't beat him. And the other thing about it was, like I said, Zeus worked in the bylaws and the loopholes. So the other gods knew if they take on Zeus individually, probably wouldn't work out for him. What's up, Phil? It probably wouldn't work out for him. So now Hera is setting up this situation where war goes on. Now, and when this war is going on, the gods can't necessarily interfere in it. So Zeus is like, listen, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a sword that my son could use. My son could use this sword, and this could win this little war with the quote unquote demons, not even the titans. So he creates the sword. The son finds out that his daddy is Zeus and goes AWOL. Like, man, you a deadbeat. You ain't never been here for me. So the son in the burbs mad because his daddy is Zeus and he been living in poverty. But he been living in the burbs, but in poverty. You know what I'm saying? Right. So he goes off, throws the sword. I'm sick of what you gave me, daddy. Blah, blah, blah. Throws the sword. Gets rid of it. His brother, who he doesn't know is his brother, he want all the smoke in life. He just ready to go. What's up, Cooley? He ready to go. So now he looking for stuff. He looking for everything. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it's a series. It's definitely it's an animation series. It's dope. It's dope as I don't know what. So basically, now it's a whole war brewing. Oh yeah, I heard of Dante's Inferno. As a matter of fact, another one on Netflix is Dragon's Dogma. That's dope too. So now you dealing in a situation where one guy doesn't even he's dealing with daddy issues, and the other guy don't necessarily have daddy issues because he don't have a daddy. He has revenge on his mind from what was done to him as a child. So he trying to just, he's actually trying to go back to the to his old kingdom that he was actually born from, and start taking heads. That's actually the villain's mission, right? So he just happens, this happens to be part of what goes on along the way. So you see the situation start to unfold, and you see Hera start making some crazy decisions. So basically, Zeus can't interfere, so he pseudo interferes. And then Hera decides, okay, since you're gonna pseudo interfere, I'm gonna pseudo interfere. So she's mad at the quote unquote side chick, well, one of Zeus's side chicks, one of his baby mamas. So she subsequently sets up a situation to get her killed, right while Zeus is watching. And Zeus can't interfere because it's like, they made a pact not to go down there. As that was happening. So it's like, okay, you make a pact, okay. So now he's in front of everybody, like, y'all really y'all gonna kill this woman. So Hera gets the baby mama killed. So now she feeling all good about herself. At the same time, while she resurrecting the dead Titans. So one revenge ain't enough, right? So she's dead. But here's where things go left. Hera is like, kind of put the situation in the sense where she introduces herself to the villain. Like she kind of put the evil part in play. And as she did this, all the moves he was making, he was trying to find and get revenge for his mother getting killed, for his mother. So then, and Kratos comes kills that, right? You crazy. And then what happens is, Hera basically tells the guy, yeah, you met your mother. Yeah, you killed her. And he's like, you raggedy. So he's upset now. But he's working for Hera, but he's upset because he's realizing around in his rampage, he killed one of the very people he was looking for. So she told him, they told him the whole story. Hera told him half of the story, the stuff, the half that'll make him want to kill Zeus. But Zeus had to tell him the other half of the story. The part that'll be like, oh, dog. So you was actually looking out for me. Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting to that. So so Zeus is telling the other gods, like, listen, y'all shouldn't trust her. Oh yeah, I'm getting there. So what winds up happening is Zeus tells his brother Poseidon, everybody knows who Poseidon is, aka Aquaman for some of y'all, god of the sea. So the Titans were actually the gods of the sea before Poseidon. Some of the Titans. So Poseidon is like, hey, Zeus, man, you brought this on yourself. What's up, Alman? Like, you brought this on yourself. And he's like, you shouldn't trust her, man. It's like, listen, if I was you, I wouldn't play her. Oh, yeah, I did say spoiler alert at the beginning, Tidy. He was like, you shouldn't have played her. I wouldn't play her, basically. And Zeus like, okay. So then Poseidon just happens to see Hera out there making deals with the Titans. Like, hey, listen, if you come back, I done raised you from the dead. I need you to do this mission for me. I'm holding this leverage over your head right now. And the Titans, by the way, want to kill all of them. Okay? She done raised them from the dead, knowing that these Titans want to kill all of them. So she needs that leverage that she's holding over him to be like, listen, you're going to have to work for me because, if you don't, you're going to be dead again. And the Titans kind of looking at her like, we're going to figure out how to get rid of your leverage. We're going to kill you, Trick. But that's working on it. So in this process, Hera tells the Titans, hey, look, y'all can run the sea again. And Poseidon sitting in the water like, you raggedy mother. I done sided with you and whatnot. And I'm thinking, I can't trust you. Zeus was like, somewhere just like, I told you so. Told you so. You know, so they come back and talk. He's like, oh, so Hera decided she was going to give the sea back to the Titans, did she? What you going to do? And Poseidon's sitting there stuck. So a war is brewing. Brewing, brewing, brewing. And this is going to go somewhere, about the secondary part of this title. So Hera then created this war. Yeah. Because she don't like Apollo, because that's another one of his side kids. So she got her squad. You got God WWE SmackDown versus God WWE Raw, right? This is how it's going. So now the gods warring with each other to be on either Hera's side or Zeus' side, and you got people in the middle, knowing that a war is coming, right? So now we playing this game, and it's all because of sex, all because she got cheated on, and she tired of getting cheated on. And I'm sitting there looking at it like, okay, all right. So now so Zeus got to prepare this kid for these battles because he can't interfere with the battle going on Earth, but he's gonna have to prepare for the battle going on in Mount Olympus. And at this particular time, Hera tried to kill him. So mind you, you cheated on your wife, who happens to be your sister, so I understand. Your sister's upset. She kills your side chick, one of your baby mamas. You can't do nothing about it. You think it's even. But she also, tries to kill you after that. While she's creating a war, and while she rolls dead, titans who are gods to kill to kill you and probably take over because she mad that you done smashed somebody else. She didn't know when to stop. You didn't know. Yeah, I got it. Because people are like, oh, he cheated. Yeah. I'm just saying, it's prevalent. It's prevalent. So, and mind you, so let me back up a little bit. And that's the funny things about Hera's kids. Like the kids that Hera has with Zeus, they loyal to their mama. They don't even take into consideration, because it's normal to them. Oh, well, that's my mama. How you gonna do my mama like that, Daddy Zeus? And I'm Daddy Zeus. That's a hard position to be in. What's up, Edward? This because of you. That's a hard position to be in. Your kids mad at you because you're cheating on their mama, but your mama, your mama is your sister, and your kids don't. Half of your kids don't understand. The other half do. Plus, this whole time, Hera's a evil little trick. She's a capital BITU. You know the rest. So now this war is created. Everything's going down, and now they had this big old fight, big old blow up. Zeus got to come. They got to protect Mount Olympus. And then the gods are realizing at some point, yeah, exactly. The only gods are stuck with, exactly. So now we're in this situation where the gods start realizing this ain't a good idea. Like, this is not a good idea. Like, she really gonna put all of us in jeopardy because she mad? She mad she got cheated on. So now Poseidon got to be in it. Apollo got to be in it. Ares got to be in it. You know what I'm saying? Hercules, technically, but not technically. He got to technically be in it. You know what I'm saying? All these other gods and demigods got to be in this war now because she wanted her way. Now, at the same time, having one son kill his mother and one son watch his mother get killed by his brother. And then they got to figure it out. Ain't got to figure it out. Oh, you killed mama. Oh, well, mama loved you. Oh, so now created a whole nother family war. So now they got to go at it. Now, at some point, what's up, Unc? Hashtag because she mad. At some point, her anger gets Zeus killed. And Zeus dies protecting Hera. And then Hera remembers this dude, he killed the Titans. He killed basically our daddy to protect me. Because I love you, baby. Technically, he's loving his sister, like I said, but whatever. But she fell in love with Zeus because Zeus basically killed the Titans and her dad and their dad for her and the rest of the siblings. So now she's seeing it again on the battlefield while she didn't got this man killed because he had to sacrifice himself to save her. So he does. So now he dead. And then as he's dead, then it clicks to her. Man, I done too much. What have I done? What's going on? I can't believe this. I'm in love with my baby. There goes my baby. Like, she done turned into Usher. So, now the son, lo and behold, is the son that winds up inheriting Zeus's powers. So the son turns into Zeus, saves the day, right? He went from a regular dude to the minute Zeus dies, he inherits Zeus's powers. So now he's Zeus, basically. And defeats the gods, the Titans, and saves the day, saves Mount Olympus. Now, I had all them spoiler alerts. I had to do it. It's for the second part of this title. Bastardized man. He ain't. I can't call him that. I can't call him that. Because like I said, that man was married to his sister. I can't, not going to be able to do it. So, here's where it all goes wrong. That woman was heartbroken because she was unrealistic. She was a god, a goddess. And she felt that she was the quote-unquote queen of the gods until Zeus was like, you remember, I'm top dog over here. I'm El Campeon, numero uno over here, So now, yeah, she don't keep her promises. But, well, she technically do. She give you twisted promises, you know what I'm saying? Be careful what you wish for because you just might get it in a twisted way. But what winds up happening is he did have to check her a few times. This is what happened. She got so mad about this that she decided to create a whole nother scenario because she was heartbroken. She wanted that man to just be in love with her and only her. Not taking into consideration, maybe he can't be in love with her and only her. Because the circumstances that they hooked up in weren't good circumstances to hook up in the first place. So their marriage was more of a political business arrangement than actually love. And Hera couldn't take that. Because to me, she was addicted to the power. She was with a powerful man, even though she was a powerful woman, right? But she was with the most powerful man. And the most powerful man couldn't be with the quote-unquote most powerful woman because they're actually siblings. And for her, she couldn't get past that part. Now, she wasn't, she wouldn't cheat on Zeus because of loyalty per se. But I'm pretty sure she got side kids. But whatever, in that, or other kids. Pretty sure, Yeah, she was addicted to Zeus. So now she's in a situation where her heart messed up her head. Because she didn't just put her relationship at risk because Zeus put their relationship at risk. She put everybody's lives at risk with her response. And basically backed them into a worse corner than Zeus ever did. Just in that certain amount of time. Being a goddess of marriage is blood. I think she's a goddess of women. I think she's a goddess of marriage, but she might be. Who knows? But it's one of these situations where now you got your kids running around here, killing each other, fighting each other, because they on mama's team. It just shows the gods, and I mean, it shows, you know, you can't get with somebody. First and foremost, it says don't marry your sister. That's what it is. Don't be married to your sister. That's the first thing. But beyond that, it also says, you won't be satisfied until you get somebody suitable to take over. Because to me, her heartbreak stems from one of her heartbreaks stems from the fact that Zeus couldn't create another Zeus with her, and because he couldn't create another Zeus with her, he went somewhere else to do it. And part of his stupidity was he probably didn't know, he wasn't gonna create another Zeus until he was dead. They had to inherit his power. But it's one of those situations where he wanted another representation of himself, because all the other gods, they weren't that bright. Yeah, it's on Netflix. Blood of Zeus. They weren't that bright, because if you think about it, all of the other quote unquote gods never tried to recreate themselves for somebody to take over the actual throne. Poseidon never created somebody to actually take over the sea. Hera never created a daughter to take over her position. Like, Zeus was the only person actually thinking about when our time is going to be over at some point. He was the only one, because he had to take the throne from his own father. So he's the only one thinking about this. But her heartbreak created bad decision making where, if it ain't what I want, I got to kill it all. Yeah, a succession plan. And a succession plan that doesn't necessarily need war. Because if you notice, Zeus was one of those people, he cared about his kids. He never tried to, he was actually a kid with daddy issues himself. So he didn't want the relationship with all 90,000 of his kids to be the same contentious relationship he had with his dad, because, he had to kill his dad. But Hera was on the other side of that spectrum. Exactly. Her heartache put it all in danger, and she didn't care. She didn't care. It took this for him to die, for her to go, I went too far. And that's when blind rage gets people. And that's what I mean by blind rage, because what you see is people who get their feelings hurt and they start making ridiculously bad decisions. Oh, he hurt my feelings. Oh, I'm sorry. Y'all don't know my heart. I can't believe it. You don't know how I feel. And the only reason I did that is because my feelings. I'm hurt. Like I said, her hurt affected, everybody outside of that situation more than them. Zeus paid for it with his life. Some of her siblings and children and family members lost their lives behind it. They ain't had nothing to do with it. Olympus was basically torn to shreds, but she gets to walk away at the end of the day. Yeah, selfish. It's ridiculous. Now, on top of that, because of who Hera was, and because the son basically inherited his dad's powers, I wouldn't have been surprised if they did another version where either, yeah, but like I said, Jermaine, it was gonna lead to a bad situation, but that was just extra. And now we in this. Now you got this space where this guy becomes a god, and he's the closest resemblance to Zeus that she see in her life. The same kid that she hated becomes the god that she was in love with. Now she's in a pickle, cause he ain't gonna be. But first of all, you my daddy's old lady and his sister. I'm not finna be smashing you, and you got my mama killed. So we not friends. So where's Hera gonna go from here? She can't go to Poseidon which is another sibling. That's a whole nother story. But there's nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. Yeah. That's Black Panther going left. Hey, auntie. Like, it's bad. But you see a person who created situations that have ramifications outside of that, that now she can't fix. And when she's in a situation where she can't fix it, it's bad. Really bad. Because at the end of the day, she'll never get him back. He proves in the end that he still had love for her. And she can never fix the situation with everybody in Mount Olympus. She can't fix the other gods that got killed. She can't fix the relationship she broke. She can't fix the deal that she made with the Titans and how Poseidon's gonna look at it. She can't fix all of that because her heart broke, made the decisions that ain't no coming back from. You know, it's crazy. Wait a minute. She, I don't know, Patrick. I don't know. That. I'm losing it right now. I'm losing it right now. Is the under? I mean, Zeus dying wasn't just a wall. Zeus dying was how can I say this? Zeus dying was the beginning of the death of the gods. What's up, Art? And she basically brought upon the beginning of the death of the gods while Zeus was trying to look for, people to succeed the gods who they didn't have to go to war with. They could just ride off into the sunset. And now, because of this situation, it just creates a bunch of infight because of one heartbreak. And if you quote unquote God, you shouldn't be that sensitive anyways. The one thing I gotta give Zeus credit for is it's funny how Zeus treated humans not as insignificant and the gods did. Not Zeus had an understanding that these humans at some point gonna take us over. But the gods thought that humans were so insignificant that they never dawned on them. So Hera treated human beings as insignificant bugs and creatures. But yet and still, she wanted to be treated with courtesy and compassion. And you can only get what you put out. Get back what you put out. And she put out a lot of negativity. And one of the reasons for her heartbreak is because she was a negative chick. She's a goddess who's negative. She's not a pleasure to be around. She's mean-spirited, she's unhappy, she's just, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I appreciate that too, Jermaine. Yeah, she had she had the son kneel to her, treat me like a god, treat me like a goddess. I technically made you kill your mama, but bow down to me. Like, it's not, no. You notice Zeus didn't do that to people. Hey, like I said, Omega, if you was in Zeus' position, you'd do it too, because that's still his sister. Hera is still Zeus' sister. Yeah, she didn't like Zeus at all. She liked what she remembered about Zeus when he saved her life. She was in love with the guy that saved her life. But he wasn't in love with her like that. Hey, he was. He was. He was in that thing. He was in that thing. He was in, the irony of this is this is still a story of Jesus. Same thing. Oh yeah, but he was baby daddy number one. you know. But he was in a high position. He was in a position that justifies you, being a baby daddy. He was in a position that because remember what was that? What was that? What was that movie? Gladiator. Remember Joaquin Phoenix, wanted to marry his sister, and it looked so weird. That Zeus, Joaquin Phoenix is Hera, and I forgot the woman's name that played Gladiator was the sister. That's Zeus. Like, I don't really want to do this, player. So that created a whole nother situation. But at the end of the day, is it Jesus in Spanish? Jesus in Spanish. Why was Jesus in Spanish? Didn't Jesus died in? Jesus spoke Hebrew, so he died in what? Jerusalem? No, was it Jerusalem? Born in Bethlehem, Nazareth, raised in Egypt. I think he died in Jerusalem. I'm tripping right now. You know, right? The human. That's what I was talking about. But humans got caught in the middle, and that's what I mean by when your heartbreak. Hera didn't care about who she destroyed in the process of getting what she felt like was revenge. To the point that she made bad decisions that cost her far more than she actually got disrespected. Semen retention. Ain't no semen retention. What's wrong with you? Gods was getting it in. Them gods was getting it in. You know, hey, I get what you're saying now. Sus, you know, listen, because there was no J. What Jesus' name was actually Eshwa. They keep trying to say Joshua or Yeshua, but that's Joshua. But it was like Eshwa. But, you notice there's, people forget, and I'm going to get a little biblical in a second. People also have their story of Adam and Eve as the second story to Adam and Lilith, because it was like Lilith had Lilith was a little too extra. That's why Eve was made from Adam's rib, quote unquote, because God made Adam and Lilith from what was it, dust or clay themselves or whatever. And Lilith just was like, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing, player. He had to get rid of it. She wouldn't submit. Thank you. And this becomes a problem. And you start thinking about it where nobody thinks about the backstory of the Bible having, with some women would feel like it's so patriarchal that women should be in a certain phase because of the actions of Lilith. You know what I'm saying? I was, Ed, I was. It's a dope series. And matter of fact, the irony of this was, you know what I watched last night on Hulu was the Thundercats again, their seasons. And what cracked me up about that too was, it was the same scenario where a girl was a Pumara was so heartbroken by Lionel that she turned on him. And she didn't create a situation that ain't no coming back from, that everybody else gonna have to pay for. But you start seeing this over and over again in this aspect of, and how can I put this? This aspect where when you get into male-female dynamic and this quote-unquote red pill space, this aspect comes into where brothers have been talking about this for years. We understand if something upsets a woman, but what we don't understand is the over-the-top reaction that destroys everything. You get what I'm saying? Like, you want to get divorced? Fine. No fault divorce? Whatever. But why would you destroy all of the resources that were built in a marriage and now the kids wind up with nothing? Because you were heartbroken, but you made bad decisions afterwards. You know, you see this situation, and I hate to use it for an example right now, but you see how the situation that happened with like Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez, but it seemed like Megan Thee Stallion keep popping up, getting into it with somebody else. And you got to start thinking, and that young woman keeps saying that, she's heartbroken from her parents, her mother dying. But the bad decisions after that is she keeps getting into it with people, no matter how you slice it, because she got into it with a man, all of a sudden it's, oh, he's got to be the issue. But if you have if you constantly keep getting into it with people, you're making bad decisions. You're making bad decisions. You know, you're making bad decisions. Yeah, I get his programming, Patrick, but it's people are programmed with it. You know, you know, people are programmed with it. That's the problem. So now you're in a situation where we're in this space, and you in even part of the arguments that are being made, part of the pseudo arguments, part of the underlying arguments, part of the irrational arguments seem to come from heartbreak. My dad wasn't there, so I don't like men. My mother was heartbroken by my father or other men, so my mama told me not to like men. And now, now I'm making bad decisions from a heartbreak or from somebody else's heartbreak. No, I'm acting a certain way, because I got my heart broken, so I'm never gonna let my heart be broken again. So now I'm gonna be over the top and extra with it to the point where nobody even messes with me. And then I'm gonna be mad because nobody's messing with me because they don't understand the only reason I'm acting like this because I got my heart broken. But if you could fix my heart, I'll be a different person. Not taking into consideration that you made bad decisions with this heartbreak to the point that ain't no coming back to some people. I'm making you off the chain. So this is what these type of series put into play, that sometimes you might need to want to actually heal yourself, even like whether you got wronged or not. Because if you notice, how can I say this? In Blood of Zeus, Hera killing Zeus's girlfriend broke his heart. But you notice he didn't respond by tearing down everything. You get what I'm saying? So she got her pound of flesh. He didn't shoot back at her. She tried to kill him. He didn't shoot back at her. She tried to get everybody killed with the Titans. He didn't shoot back at her. He actually laid down his life for her. He got his heart broke and responded completely differently. You get what I'm saying? And that shows, sometimes the person that you think is the villain in the story actually has better character than the person who was the victim in the story. Because what winds up happening is people use being a victim as justification to be a villain that causes damage to everything and everyone, and not the person that they felt they were victimized, they were a victim to. And this is why I'm saying the heartbreak, creates bad decisions. Because now, that son, even in Blood of Zeus, if they came out with another function, he would be very much so justified to kill Hera. Very much so. He got the follow his father. You know what? You killed my mother. You got to go. He could be very much so justified in that, but I doubt he has the character not to do that, which is weird, for her to deal with. So a lot of times, adversity, heartbreak, disappointment, when they say your attitude determines your altitude, they definitely mean it. Definitely mean it. What's up, Dante? So now we're in this situation where You don't think about it. You don't think about it. And for me, it was a great movie or whatever. Yeah, the guys had family issues. But I'm going to leave it at that. And I might upload some videos later, but I got to go make a run real quick. So thank y'all for rocking with me. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate all y'all. Catch y'all next time. One love. Peace.